I killed my fiancé's mother that night. Not with a knife or a bullet. Nothing so crude, but with a whisper of desperation into the ear of a back-alley shaman I'd found in the bowels of Queens. The kind of place where dreams go to die and souls get bartered like loose change. 5 months pregnant. Disowned by the Harrington dynasty. The East Coast's whisper of old money wrapped in new tech fortunes. I stood there in the rain-slicked alley, my belly a lead weight under my soaked tank top, and begged for way back in. "Swap me," I gasped, handing over my last $500 and the heirloom locket my own dead mama left me. "Put me in her skin. Let me make them pay." The old woman's eyes gleamed like polished obsidian. And just like that, the world flipped inside out. One moment, I was Diana Reyes, the nobody barista from the Bronx who'd snagged Alexander Harrington III with a lucky smile at a charity gala. The next, I was Evelyn Harrington, steel-haired matriarch, gazing out from the penthouse window of Harrington Tower. My reflection a stranger's sharp cheekbones, Botox-smooth forehead, and hands that had never scrubbed a counter or cradled a child that wasn't planned. It started 6 months earlier, back when life still tasted like cheap champagne and possibility. Alex and I met at that gala in the Hamptons, him in his tailored Tom Ford tux, me crashing as a +1 to a tipsy coworker.
He was 28.
Heir to a billion-dollar empire built on algorithms that predicted stock crashes before they happened, Harrington Analytics. The invisible hand puppeteering Wall Street. I was 24, scraping by on tips and night classes at community college, dreaming of a degree in graphic design that might one day pay for a walk-up without roaches. Our eyes locked over flutes of Veuve Clicquot. And by dawn, we were tangled in Egyptian cotton sheets at his family's compound, the ocean roaring like applause outside. "You're real," he murmured, tracing the curve of my hip. "Not like these plastic dolls they keep throwing at me." I believed him.
God.
I believed him. 3 months in, the pregnancy test turned positive in the sterile blue light of a Duane Reade bathroom. Joy hit like a freight train, morning sickness be damned. This was our future. A little Harrington Reyes hybrid to bridge worlds. I told him over lobster rolls at the Clam Shack in Maine, his private jet still warm from the flight. His face lit up, that boyish grin cracking through the boardroom polish. "Marry me."
Right now.
"We'll make it official before the vultures circle." We did. Vegas. Impulsive. With Elvis presiding and a drive-through chapel that smelled like polyester and regret. But regrets? Not yet. Not until the family found out. The Harringtons weren't just rich, they were a fortress. Alexander Sr., call him Trip, because God forbid a name like plain old Alex, had clawed his way from Pittsburgh steel mills to Silicon Valley via a Harvard MBA and a ruthless knack for cornering markets. His wife, Evelyn, was the ice queen, Vassar-educated, old New England stock, with a Rolodex of senators and a charity board that masked her real power, whispering vetoes on deals that could topple economies. Their daughter, Lydia, was the golden child, 26 and already VP at the firm, engaged to a senator's son. And Alex, the prodigal spare, brilliant but unfocused, as Tripp called it, until I came along and gave him a reason to fight for his slice. I showed up at the family estate unannounced, 5 months along, belly proudly rounding out my thrift store maternity dress. The compound sprawled across 50 acres in Greenwich, manicured lawns like green carpets, a pool house bigger than my childhood apartment, stables with horses that cost more than my student loans. Tripp met me at the door, his handshake firm as a contract clause. "Diana," he said, eyes flicking to my stomach like it was a glitch in the code. Alex mentioned this. Evelyn swept in behind him, pearls gleaming like accusations. Her smile a scalpel. Darling.
Seek.
Tea. Over chamomile that tasted like regret. They laid it out. No ring. No wedding photos. Just a situation that threatened the brand. We're not bigots, Tripp assured me. His voice that paternal baritone from CNBC spots. But optics matter. The board's twitchy after the last PR hiccup. A shotgun Bronx wedding? It screams tabloid fodder. I laughed it off at first, nerves, I thought. But then Lydia cornered me in the powder room, her Louboutins clicking like gunfire. You think you're the first? Daddy's boys always bring home strays. But pregnant? That's leverage. Honey. And leverage gets crushed. Her eyes held mine, cold as the marble vanity. And I saw it then, the family secret. The one Alex had hinted at over late-night whiskeys. Tripp wasn't Lydia's father. Evelyn's affair with the family lawyer. Back when the firm was teetering on a bad merger, a skeleton buried deep. But not deep enough. They'd pinned a lesser scandal on the maid back then. A Latina immigrant like me, deported overnight with fabricated theft charges. History repeats, Lydia hissed. Unless you sign the NDA and the check clears. Betrayal number 1, Alex. He didn't fight them. Not really. We argued in the guest wing that night, my hands shaking as I packed the duffel I brought. It's temporary. D. He pleaded, blocking the door. His cologne, sandalwood, and lies choking me. Just until the baby's born. They'll come around. I love you. But his eyes darted to the hallway, where shadows of staff lingered like spies. I shoved past him, waddling down the grand staircase, the echo mocking my every step. Outside, the valet called my beat-up Honda cab instead, Tripp's orders. Go home. MS. Reyes. This isn't your world.
Disowned.
The word hit like a slap when the email came at 2 a.m. from Evelyn's assistant. The Harrington family regrets to inform you that, due to irreconcilable differences, all support is hereby terminated. Prenatal care will be handled via wire transfer to an account of your choosing. Confidentiality assured. Irreconcilable differences. For loving their son? For carrying his child? I drove through the night. Connecticut's hedges blurring into Bronx concrete. The baby kicking like it knew we were alone. My own family? Mama gone to cancer 3 years back. Papa deported when I was 12 for a traffic stop gone wrong. Tia Rosa took me in, but she was scraping by on Social Security in a one-bedroom with her cats. No safety net. Just me, 5 months swollen, and a rage that simmered like tar in my veins. That's when the whispers started. Late-night scrolls through dark web forums, occult corners where desperate souls traded spells for survival. Body swaps, they called it. Ancient rites twisted for the modern age. A shaman in Queens, Madame Zara, promised reversal. Slip into the skin of your betrayer. Unravel their empire from within. Cost? Blood price, literal. A prick of the finger, and something irreplaceable. I chose the locket, Mama's last gift. Engraved with Corazon Fuerte, strong heart. Fitting. The ritual was fever dream hazy, candles flickering in red glass. Incense thick as grief. Zara's chants in a patois of Creole and something older. I lay on a threadbare futon, belly exposed, her hands pressing symbols into my skin with ash. You enter as guest, she warned, her breath hot on my ear. But stay too long. And the host wakes. Souls cling.
Child.
Choose wisely. Pain lands through me, fire in my veins. A scream swallowed by thunder outside, and then blackness. I woke to silk sheets and the hum of a city far below. My hands, long, manicured, veins like blue rivers on porcelain, pushed back covers monogrammed EH. The mirror across the room showed Evelyn's face staring back, 62, but preserved like a museum piece. Silver chignon impeccable even in sleep. I touched my cheek, smooth, foreign, and felt nothing below.
No swell.
No flutter. The baby. Panic clawed at my throat. But then, a twinge in my lower back. Alien and faint. Not gone. Transferred? Swapped with. Her, Evelyn. Barren by choice. Her womb a vault for secrets. Now carried my child, horror twisted into opportunity. I was in. The fortress gates swung wide from the inside. Trip stirred in the king bed beside me. His snores a governor's decree. Eve, he mumbled, hand groping for familiarity. I slid closer, channeling her frost. Sleep? Darling. Dawn meetings wait. My voice, hers, purred like velvet over steel. He settled, oblivious. In the en-suite marble expanse, I rifled drawers, pill bottles for hormonal imbalance, a locked journal. Secrets. The first thread to pull. By breakfast, I was Evelyn Harrington reborn, poised over poached eggs in the sunroom. Lydia chattering about a gala. Alex avoiding my gaze like a guilty schoolboy. Mother, you look rested, he said, fork pausing midair. I smiled. Her smile, sharp as a closing deal. Darlings, we have work to do. The family's future demands it. Inside, Diana screamed for blood. But Evelyn? She schemed. And now, I schemed better. The first move was subtle, access. As Evelyn, I sat in on board calls. Her iPad a scepter granting entry to the kingdom's guts. Harrington Analytics wasn't just stocks, it was shadows, insider trades funneled through shell companies in the Caymans, bribes to regulators disguised as PAC donations. Tripp's genius, Evelyn's polish. But the real rot? Lydia's pet project, an AI that doxed whistleblowers, feeding data to private equity vultures. I'd borne the brunt once, framed as the gold-digging side chick in leaked memos after our Vegas elopement. My face plastered on Gawker with captions like Bronx Bombshell or Baby Mama Drama. They'd buried me to protect the brand.
Now,
I'd exhume it all. Betrayal deepened that week. I discovered Alex's side piece, a leggy intern named Brooke, 22 and fresh from Yale, texting him nudes from the company jet. Evelyn's phone, my phone now, had the logs, forwarded by a loyal assistant who'd always hated the girl. I confronted him in his office, high above Midtown, the skyline a jagged crown. Alexander, I said, voice quivering just so. Is this why you discarded her? Our Diana? He blanched, sweat beading on his brow.
Mom.
It's not, Dee was complicated. The pregnancy, the timing. Brooks, just stress relief. Stress relief. For the man who'd vowed forever. I let tears well, Evelyn's weaponized vulnerability, and he crumbled, confessing the family push. They said it'd ruin me. The board vote's coming. I had to choose.
Choose.
As if I hadn't chosen him over everything. Nights studying by phone light. Skipping meals for his gifts. The baby kicked then. A Morse code of fury in this borrowed womb. I excused myself, heels clicking to the ladies' lounge, where I dry-heaved into marble sinks. Zara's warning echoed. Souls cling. Already, Evelyn's mannerisms crept in, a tilt of the head, a sigh like judgment. But Diana's fire burned hotter. Revenge wasn't ablaze, it was a slow fuse. Controversial in its mercy. I'd dismantle them piece by piece. Make them question their own reflections. First target, the secret. That night, after Tripp's obligatory scotch, I cracked the journal with a hairpin, Evelyn's vanity kit, full of tools for more than makeup. Pages yellowed. Entries in her looping script. 1998. The affair with Harlan Voss. The lawyer, Lydia's true paternity confirmed by a discreet clinic. But deeper, the maid, Rosa, Mama's cousin, deported for theft that was really Voss's embezzlement cover-up. They'd pinned it on her to silence questions, shipped her back to El Salvador with threats. My tia Rosa had whispered stories of the lost aunt, but never the truth. Blood debt. I started small, anonymous tips to a SEC blogger, veiled enough to stir without backlash. Harrington Shadows, the post read, linking to redacted Voss files I'd found in the archives. Whispers rippled, CNBC tickers. Twitter storms. Tripp raged at dinner. Face purple as vintage Cabernet. Someone's leaking.
Eve.
Your Rolodex? I feigned shock. Hand to throat. Impossible. Darling. But perhaps it's time for audits. Lydia shot me a look, suspicion. The first crack. As weeks blurred, the swap's toll mounted. Dreams of my old body, Diana's, now inhabited by Evelyn's soul, wandering the Bronx in confusion, belly heavy, jobless. Did she feel the kicks? The hunger? Zara's right bound us, 1 month max before reversal. Or permanent blur. I had to accelerate. Controversial decision 1. Seduce the truth from Alex. In his childhood room, now a guest suite, I slipped into silk. Evelyn's Allura poison pill. Tell me everything, I purred, fingers tracing his jaw. He broke, spilling the family's crown jewel, a rigged algorithm that crashed competitor stocks, netting billions but orphaning thousands in the Rust Belt. It's how we survived '08, he slurred. Wine loose. Daddy's legacy. Legacy of ruin. I recorded it, voice memo. Time-stamped, tucked away for the climax. By month's end, the boardroom loomed. Tripp's power play. Installing Alex as CEO if he cleaned house, starting with me, the pregnant ghost. But I was the house now. As Evelyn, I rallied allies, the old guard loyal to her, whispering of Tripp's frailties, early dementia, covered by her. He's slipping, I confided over martinis at the Yale Club. We protect the name. Seeds planted. The fuse burned shorter. My back ached with phantom labor pains, not mine, but the body's memory. And in quiet moments, Evelyn's voice echoed in my skull. This is mine. Give it back. I ignored it, plotting the gala, the annual Harrington Bash at the Met, where empires toasted and fell. The Met Gala wasn't a party, it was a coliseum. Gladiators in couture circling under crystal chandeliers that dripped like stalactites in a billionaire's cave. I arrived as Evelyn, gowned by Oscar de la Renta, emerald silk hugging this borrowed frame. The subtle swell at my midsection dismissed as a touch of indulgence by gossips. No one questioned the matriarch's glow, they envied it. Alex escorted me, arms stiff as rebar. his eyes darting to Brooke on the arm of some venture capitalist. Her laugh a silver bullet. Trip held court by the Temple of Dender, schmoozing a treasury underling with tales of ethical disruption. Lydia, radiant in crimson, fielded whispers about the SEC probe, now a murmur. Thanks to my planted distractions, a rival firm's anonymous data dump, muddying the waters. Inside, I was a storm in a teacup. The baby's flutters, my babies, were Morse code reminders. Hurry. Zara's deadline loomed. 3 weeks in. Evelyn's essence seeping like damp rot. I'd catch myself in mirrors, lips curling in her disdain for the help-pouring view. Last night, I nearly called Tia Rosa from Evelyn's phone, only to dial the firm instead, barking orders in a tone that made assistants quake. Soul cling. It was fraying me. Diana's raw edges sanded smooth by privilege's grindstone. But rage? That was mine, unyielding as Bronx asphalt. Revenge's second act. Controversy. I cornered Voss, the ex-lawyer, now retired to a Palm Beach condo. Lydia's biodad, in the coat check, slipping him a flute of champagne laced with truth serum from a discreet apothecary. Evelyn's little black book had everything. Harlan, I cooed, her coquettish lilt from 98 reborn. Old times. His eyes widened, pupils dilating as the drop kicked in. By the time the coat girl returned his Burberry, he was spilling. The maid's frame up, the Cayman's slush fund, even Tripp's retirement plan, a staged yacht accident to cash in on life insurance. Pinned on pirates for the headlines.
Eve.
You knew, he slurred, grasping my wrist. You greenlit it all. I twisted free, planting the seed. Tell the right ear. By dawn, Voss was on a red-eye to D.C., lawyered up with a conscience, feeding docs to a hungry prosecutor. The fallout hit like a market dip. Tripp's morning briefing turned battlefield. Emails from Langley. IRS audits flagged red. Sabotage, he bellowed, slamming his Mont Blanc on the walnut desk. Alex paced. Ty Askew, blaming disgruntled coders. Lydia's eyes locked on me. Evelyn, sipping Earl Grey like it was nectar. Mother, your contacts? Anyone? Loose. I arched a brow, the picture of affront. Lydia, darling, if you're implying, Tripp cut in. Voice gravel. Enough.
Eve.
Rally the troops. We circle wagons.
Oh.
I would. But my wagons carried catapults. Deeper betrayal unearthed itself that afternoon. In Evelyn's private study, a vault of walnut and whispers. Biometric lock yielding to her my thumbprint. The journal's sequel, a ledger. Digital now. Encrypted on a thumb drive hidden in a hollowed Austin First Edition. Payments to clinics, hush money to interns, and there, Alex's name, tied to a consulting fee from a pharma giant. My golden boy, peddling user data from the analytics platform to big pharma for targeted ads on antidepressants. But the kicker, the hiccup that nearly tanked the firm preemie, a whistleblower. Silenced not by NDA but by overdose, pushed. Per the notes. Evelyn's script, handled.
A. Senior.
Approves. Legacy secured. They'd framed a junior analyst, a black woman from Brooklyn, for embezzlement. She did time in Rikers. Career eviscerated. I'd borne echoes of that. Diana, the thieving side piece in smears. But this? Murder adjacent. My stomach churned, the baby protesting the venom. I needed allies. Controversial choice, too. Brooke. The intern wasn't evil. She was 22. dazzled by the shine. Texting Alex because he dangled partnership whispers. I bumped into her at Sant Ambrius, Evelyn's haunt for power lunches, sliding into the banquette uninvited. Brooke, dear, I said, voice honey over arsenic. We women must stick together in this boys' club. Her eyes widened, the ice queen, thawing over paninis. She confessed, Alex's grooming. The family's playbook, seduce.
Discard.
Promote the compliant. He said Diana was unstable. The pregnancy a ploy.
Ploy.
For love. For us. I slipped her a burner phone. Voss's prelim docs. Leak wisely.
Peddle.
Or join the ghosts. She nodded, pale as prosciutto. And by evening, Gawker 2.0, Substack sleuths had Harrington Air, data for dollars, trending. Alex called, frantic, Mom, what the hell? It's falling apart. I soothed. Evelyn's maternal pat. Breathe. Son. We'll fix it. Fix it with fire. The tension coiled tighter. A noose of my own weaving. Dreams bled now. Evelyn in my body. Pounding on Tia's door. Belly heaving. Screaming in a voice that wasn't hers. Diana? Where are you? Tia's confusion. The cats scattering. I woke sweating Tripp's 800 thread linens. Heart hammering. The swaps mechanics. Per Zara's post-ritual texts, burner-to-burner proximity reversed it. Bodies close.
Souls snap back.
But getting near my old self? Suicide. Evelyn Diana was under watch. The family charity paying her rent in a midtown walk-up. Monitored for leaks. Guards at the door. NDAs like shackles. To end this, I'd need chaos. Climax brewed at the family summit, Tripp's war room in the tower sublevel. Screens flickering with market feeds. A war map of enemies. I arrived last. Evelyn's poise a shield, carrying a tablet with contingencies. Lydia grilled me. Mother, Voss is talking. Your old flame? I laughed. Brittle as spun sugar. Jealousy. Lydia? He always was dramatic. Tripp. Eyes bloodshot, dementia flashes. For the pills, leaned in.
Eve.
The yacht. It's time. Insurance cashes. Alex ascends. We fade to the Caymans.
Fade.
Murder-suicide disguised as tragedy. My cue. Controversial decision 3. Mercy's edge. I didn't expose them clean. I forced choice. Activating the hidden recorder. Alex's confession. Voss's ramblings. The ledger scans. I streamed it live to the board. Hacked via Brooke's intern access. Screens blared. Tripp's bribes. Lydia's doxing code. Alex's pharma sellout. Gasps echoed. Virtual attendees freezing like deer in headlights. What is this? Tripp roared, lunging for the console. I stood, voice booming, Diana's fire in Evelyn's timbre. This is the Harrington truth. Darlings. The empire you built on broken backs, maids deported, analysts jailed, whistleblowers silenced. And me, your Eve, complicit till now. Chaos erupted, Lydia shrieking denials, Alex bolting for the door, Tripp clutching his chest, real or feigned.
Who cared?
Security swarmed, but I was already moving. Evelyn's heels discarded for bare escape down service stairs. The plan, to the roof, where the chopper waited for VIP evac. But first, the twist's harbinger, a text from Zara. The host stirs. Reversal imminent. Choose, stay or flee. Stay meant power. But trapped in this husk, baby birthing in scandal's shadow. Flee meant Diana again, but armed with ruin. Sirens wailed below. NYPD. Tipped by my anonymous SEC forward. The family fractured. Lydia arrested in the lobby. Cuffs clinking like her heirlooms. Trip medevaced. Heart attack confirmed. Alex. Cornered on the helipad. Faced me, Evelyn Shell. Diana's eyes burning. Mom, he stammered. Wind whipping his hair. What have you done? I stepped close. Soul's humming proximities song. Not your mom. Alex. Never was. The reversal hit like lightning, pain ripping through, bodies blurring in the rotor wash. I collapsed into my own skin. Belly full. Rain-slick, concrete biting knees. Across. Evelyn rose in hers. Gasping. Clutching phantom pearls.
You.
Which? But Alex? He saw only his mother. Betrayal's knife twisting as she, Evelyn, lunged. Screaming truths. It's her. The Bronx slut in my body. He froze. Pieces snapping, the leaks. The mercy. The child. D, he whispered. Reaching. I slapped him. Hard. Controversial catharsis. You chose them. Live with it. Cops hauled Evelyn away. Raving. The swap dismissed as hysteria. Voss's testimony sealed it. Indictments raining like confetti. I waddled to the edge. Chopper lifting sans passengers. City lights a vengeful constellation. Free? Not yet. The baby kicked victory. But revenge's aftertaste?
Ash.
Freedom tasted like hospital jello and the sterile tang of regret. 3 days post-reversal in a Mount Sinai private suite. The family still footing bills. Irony's last laugh. Tia Rosa bustled in with tamales wrapped in foil. Her rosary clicking like judgment.
Mia.
You look like hell warmed over. I laughed, wincing as the monitors beeped my vitals stable. The OBs said, but stress elevated. The baby. A girl. We'd named Sophia after Mama Strength. But strength? Mine was threadbare. The swap's echoes lingering. Phantom aches in manicured hands. Nightmares of boardrooms where I signed away souls. The news cycle devoured the Harringtons like chum. Front pages screamed, tech titan toppled. Insider corruption rocks Wall Street. Tripp. Stabilized but indicted. Issued a statement from his bedside, ghostwritten by Crisis PR. Blaming rogue elements. Lydia lawyered up in a Manhattan penthouse. Her senator, Beau, ghosting faster than a bad trade. Alex? Radio silence. Holed up in the Hamptons compound. Dodging paparazzi drones, buzzing like vultures. Voss sang to the feds. Cayman's accounts frozen. The yacht accident scrubbed for evidence. And Evelyn O. Evelyn, patted a psych ward in white cotton. Diagnosed, acute delusional episode. Her rants about body thieves medicated into mumbling. The tabloid spun it soft. Matriarch's breakdown. Stress of scandal? No one believed the witch talk. Modern America preferred pills over possession. Me, Diana Reyes. Exonerated phantom. The leaks traced to concerned insiders. My name scrubbed clean. Brooks doing. That sharp cookie earning her stripes with a quiet promotion at a startup. She'd texted the burner. We girls got this. Congrats on the bump. Controversial ally, but effective. Tia fussed with my pillows, muttering prayers. You scared me, Mina. Vanishing like your papa. I squeezed her hand. The locket gone, but its echo warm, strong heart. I'm here now. For good. But good? Revenge's bill came due in whispers. The feds wanted statements. Voss corroborated. But Alex? He surfaced a week later. Postpartum haze lifting as Sophia nursed in the rocker by the window. A knock. Hesitant. And there he was, unshaven, Armani rumpled, eyes hollow as the headlines. "D," he breathed, hovering in the doorway like a supplicant.
Can I
See her? Sophia. Oblivious. Rooted with tiny fists. I nodded. Bone-weary. He sank into the visitor's chair, tears carving tracks through stubble. I fucked up. Everything. Mom, Eve, she told the docs it was you. In her. I thought she was cracking.
But
The gala. The files. It was you. Confession. Raw as an open trade. I let him hold her. That first coup twisting the knife.
why?
Alex? The choice, me or them. You picked the empire. He rocked gently, voice cracking.
Fear.
Dad's shadow. The board's knives. They said you'd trap me. The baby a leverage play. I believed it, because
God. The
I was weak.
weak.
The word hung, controversial in its truth. I'd loved him fierce. Bronx grit against his silver spoon. But love blinds.
Now.
Seeing him cradle our girl. Something fractured mended, not fully, but enough to hear him out. I'm out, he said. Walking from the firm. Testifying full. Whatever it takes to fix this.
Fix.
As if empires crumbled clean. Twist's shadow loomed then. The reversal not just of bodies but truths. My phone buzzed Zara. Cryptic. The right echoes. Check the vein. Heart pounding. I slipped to the bathroom. Sleeve up. There. Faint under the skin, a tattoo. Ash ink from the ritual. Blooming like bruise. Symbols I'd pressed into Evelyn's, my flesh. But reading closer. In the mirror's flip. Not spells. But coordinates. Queen's Alley? No, a date. Etched backward. 1998. The affair year. And initials, Dr. Diana Reyes? Impossible. I was born '01. Panic surged. I dialed Zara. Voice hushed over Sophia's gurgles. What did you do? Her laugh. Smoke rough. Not me.
Child.
The soul you borrowed carried marks. Dig. If you dare. Digging meant controversy's abyss. Late nights. Laptop glowing in the dim ward. I chased ghosts. Public records. Ancestry sites. Evelyn's pilfered journal scans on a thumb drive Brooks smuggled. The maid, Rosa Vargas. Mama's cousin. Wasn't just deported. She died in El Salvador. '03. Childbirth complications. Baby girl unnamed in the obit. But the timeline. 5 months pre my birth. And the father? Harlan Voss. Per a faded clinic receipt Voss leaked post-arrest. My blood ran cold. Tripp's frame-up wasn't random. It silenced a threat, Evelyn's rival pregnancy. Hushed to protect the lineage. My mama had been the maid. Impregnated by Voss during the scandal. Fleeing to the Bronx post-deportation attempt. Birthing me in secret. DNA Whisper Networks confirmed it. A cheek swab from Tia's old brush. Matched to Voss's public profile. 98% kin. Truth reversed. I wasn't the outsider. I was Harrington blood. Voss's daughter. Evelyn's buried shame. The swap? Fate's cruel joke. I'd stolen my own grandmother's skin? No, Evelyn. My grandmother. Complicit in Mama's ruin. The betrayal?
Cosmic.
I'd borne the mistake. Not just Alex's child, but the family's original sin. Gifting me the womb's echo. The right's pull. Zara knew. Her blood priced the locket. Mama's. Tying the loop. I confronted Tia over arroz con pollo in her kitchen. Sophia napping in a borrowed bassinet. Why hide it? She crossed herself, tears salting the steam. Your mama wanted you free. Mija. No chains to that house of wolves. She worked there, loved wrong, paid cruel. Died thinking you'd rise above.
Rise.
I'd crashed in, swapped souls, toppled thrones. Controversial legacy, villain or avenger. Alex returned daily, changing diapers with fumbling hands, reading board books in that earnest voice. Marry me again. D, for real. No empires. Just us. The proposal, a simple band from a pawn shop. Pawned Harrington cufflinks, funding it. I wavered. Love's rehab. Or fool's relapse. The baby coup descent. Yes. Whispered controversial heart. We wed quiet. City Hall. Tia and Brooke witnesses. Rain washing old sins. But the ending? Debatable as dawn. Trip pled out. House arrest in Greenwich. Empire auction to ethical bidders. Ironies payout funding restitution funds for the ruined. Lydia flipped on him for leniency. Now consulting in obscurity. Evelyn, released to a facility upstate. Recovering. Her eyes meeting mine once at a hearing. Recognition.
Hate. Then.
Pity? Granddaughter, she mouthed. Before meds dulled it. I turned away. Sophia on hip. Alex's hand steady. Happy? In fragments, nights with takeout Thai and baby giggles. Alex coding open source now. Me sketching designs for a co-op gallery in the Bronx.
Be geek.
In the what-ifs. If I'd stayed swapped. Ruled as Evelyn. Birthed power. Or, if the right snapped permanent. Two souls lost. Readers argue. Justice or hubris. I choose both. Strong heart. After all. Corazon Fuerte beats on. In a world remade by one desperate swap.